Your soulmate just heard something about you today and completely broke down. My beloved child. Before you decide this message is only another story, listen with every part of your heart because something happened today that changed everything your soulmate believed about you. What they heard was never supposed to reach them this soon, yet the moment those words entered their ears, the world around them felt strangely silent. Their heartbeat raced. Their hands trembled. They tried to convince themselves that it could not possibly be true, but the more they thought about it, the harder it became to ignore. They walked away from everyone for a moment because they needed to breathe. They replayed every memory connected to you, searching for signs they had somehow missed. Suddenly, little moments that once seemed ordinary began fitting together like pieces of a puzzle they never realized existed. Don't skip, because what they discovered next completely shattered the version of you they had been holding inside their mind. They realized someone had hidden the truth from them for far too long, and once that realization arrived, it refused to leave. Something huge is waiting for you, and this is only the beginning of a revelation that neither of you expected would happen today. A quiet conversation became the turning point. It was not planned. It was not dramatic. It was only a few unexpected words spoken by someone who had no idea how powerful they would become. Those words painted a completely different picture of who you truly are. Your soulmate suddenly understood that many of the stories they believed about you were incomplete, and some were never true at all. That realization struck deeper than anyone could imagine. They remembered every time they questioned your silence, every moment they assumed you had stopped caring, every occasion they believed distance meant the end. Now those memories returned with a painful new meaning. Their eyes filled with emotion because they finally understood that while they believed you were walking away, you may have been carrying battles no one else could see. They whispered your name without even realizing it. They wondered how different everything could have been if this truth had reached them sooner. Stay till the end, because the next discovery shook them even more than the first. What happened after those words reached their heart was something they never prepared themselves to experience. As the hours passed, your soulmate could no longer pretend everything was normal. Every place reminded them of you. Every quiet moment became louder than the noise around them. They began asking themselves questions they had avoided for far too long. What if they misunderstood your intentions? What if every delay had a reason? What if the connection they tried to forget never truly disappeared? Those questions refused to leave, and with each passing minute the weight inside their heart grew heavier. They realized they were not mourning the past. They were mourning the chance they almost allowed to disappear forever because they never knew the whole story. That realization broke something inside them, but it also awakened something they thought had been lost. Hope returned in a way that surprised even them. For the first time in a long while, they stopped focusing on what went wrong and started wondering whether everything could still change. Don't skip, because what your soulmate is about to uncover next is even more shocking than what they heard today. Someone else is quietly carrying another piece of the truth, and once that hidden secret comes into the light, nothing between you will ever feel the same again. Something huge is waiting for you. Stay till the end because the next chapter reveals why this emotional breakdown was only the first sign that a once-in-a-lifetime turning point has already begun. What happened after that emotional moment was something your soulmate never expected. Instead of trying to forget everything they had just learned, they started searching for answers they had avoided for far too long. Every memory became important. Every conversation suddenly carried a hidden meaning. They looked back at the smallest details, wondering how they could have missed what had been right in front of them all along. The truth they heard today refused to stay silent inside their heart. It followed them everywhere. They could not focus on ordinary things because one question kept repeating inside their mind. What if everything I believed about this person was completely wrong? That single thought became impossible to escape. Don't skip, because what happened next was even more surprising. They found themselves protecting your name in conversations where they once stayed silent. Without realizing it, they began correcting people who misunderstood you. Something inside them had changed forever, and the more they defended you, the more they realized how deeply you still lived inside their heart. Something huge is waiting for you, because this change was only the beginning of something neither of you saw coming. Then another unexpected moment arrived. Your soulmate came across something that reminded them of a promise they never fulfilled. It could have been an old message, a familiar place, a forgotten memory, or even a simple object connected to you. Whatever it was, it completely broke the emotional wall they had spent so long building. They stopped pretending they were over everything. They admitted to themselves that no matter how much time had passed, your absence never truly became easier. Instead, they had only learned how to hide the pain. The truth they heard today unlocked emotions they believed were buried forever. Their heart began asking difficult questions. What if I still have a chance? What if this story isn't over? What if I gave up too early? Those questions became louder with every passing hour. Stay till the end, because someone close to your soulmate is beginning to notice this sudden transformation. That person is about to say something that will push your soulmate toward a decision they can no longer postpone. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next step could happen much sooner than anyone expects. Night arrived, but peace never did. While everyone else believed the day had ended, your soulmate was still replaying everything they had learned. Sleep refused to come because every answer created another mystery. They finally understood that destiny sometimes stays silent until the perfect moment, and today felt exactly like that moment. For the first time in a very long time, fear was no longer stronger than hope. Instead of asking whether you still cared, they started wondering whether they still had the courage to reach out before it became too late. Their heart was quietly preparing for a decision capable of changing everything between you. Don't skip, because tomorrow may bring another revelation they never imagined possible. Someone who knows far more than they have admitted is getting ready to reveal another hidden piece of the story, and once those words are spoken, your soulmate will have no choice but to face the truth they have been running from. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next revelation may become the exact reason your soulmate finally stops hiding their true feelings. Everything changed the moment another hidden truth quietly found its way to your soulmate. It did not arrive with loud announcements or dramatic scenes. It came through a simple realization that refused to leave their mind. They suddenly understood that every delay between you was not as meaningless as they once believed. The pieces continued falling into place one after another, and with every new connection they made, the weight inside their heart became even heavier. They remembered the moments when they almost reached out but stopped themselves at the last second. They remembered convincing themselves that you had already moved on, even though deep inside they never truly believed it. Now those decisions felt impossible to defend. They realized fear had been speaking louder than love. Don't skip, because the next discovery shook them in a way they never imagined possible. Something huge is waiting for you, and the truth they are about to uncover will force them to question every choice they made since the day your paths separated. Hours later, your soulmate found themselves alone again, not because they wanted to be, but because their heart demanded silence. In that quiet moment, they stopped listening to other people's opinions and finally listened to their own emotions. That was when everything became clear. They could no longer deny that your presence had never disappeared from their life. Every memory returned with incredible detail. The conversations, the laughter, the moments that once seemed ordinary suddenly became priceless. They realized they had spent too much time protecting themselves from disappointment instead of protecting something that truly mattered. A strange feeling of urgency began growing inside them, almost as if life itself was whispering that another opportunity would not wait forever. Stay till the end, because someone unexpected is about to place one final piece into this emotional puzzle. What that person knows has remained hidden until now, and once those words are spoken, your soulmate will no longer have any reason to remain silent. As the night grew deeper, one question echoed louder than every other thought: what if I lose this chance forever? That question refused to leave. It followed every heartbeat, every breath, every passing minute. For the first time, your soulmate stopped imagining what could go wrong and started imagining what could finally go right. Hope slowly replaced hesitation. Courage quietly replaced fear. They realized that some connections are too powerful to disappear simply because time has passed. Instead of feeling defeated, they began feeling pulled toward a decision that once seemed impossible. They are standing closer to that moment than they have ever been before, yet there is still one final obstacle that must be removed. Don't skip, because what happens next will surprise even your soulmate. A message, a conversation, or an unexpected encounter is moving closer with every passing moment, and when it arrives, it will reveal the last hidden truth behind today's emotional breakdown. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next chapter will uncover the secret that changes everything forever. A new morning arrived, but your soulmate woke up carrying the same thoughts that had refused to leave them the night before. Instead of fading, the emotions had grown even stronger. They could no longer pretend that today was just another ordinary day because something inside them kept whispering that time was running out. They found themselves staring into the distance, wondering how many opportunities had already slipped away simply because fear had spoken first. Every excuse they once believed suddenly sounded empty. Every reason for staying silent began to lose its power. Then something completely unexpected happened. A small detail, one that most people would have ignored, reminded them of you with incredible force. It felt almost impossible to explain, yet it was powerful enough to stop them in their tracks. Their heart responded before their mind could. Don't skip, because this unexpected reminder became the spark that started changing everything once again. Something huge is waiting for you, and your soulmate is closer than ever to making a choice they once believed they would never have the courage to make. The more they reflected, the clearer one truth became. They had been trying to protect themselves from heartbreak, but in doing so, they had also been hiding from happiness. That realization struck deeper than anything they had heard before. They finally understood that genuine connections do not disappear simply because life becomes complicated. Some bonds remain quietly alive, waiting for the moment when both hearts are finally ready to understand them. As this realization settled in, another surprising piece of information reached them. It was not gossip. It was not a rumor. It was a simple truth that confirmed what their heart had already begun to suspect. The image they had carried of you for so long was incomplete, and now they wanted to know the real story instead of believing old assumptions. Stay till the end, because someone is about to unknowingly open a door that has remained closed for far too long. Once that door opens, the distance between your hearts may begin disappearing faster than anyone expects. As evening slowly approached, your soulmate reached a moment they could no longer ignore. Standing between the past and the future, they realized they had a decision to make. They could continue hiding behind silence, or they could finally allow honesty to guide their next step. For the first time in a long while, the answer seemed clearer than ever. The fear that once controlled every decision was beginning to fade, replaced by a quiet determination they had never felt before. They knew they could not erase yesterday, but they also knew tomorrow had not yet been written. That thought filled them with a hope they thought they had lost forever. Don't skip, because the next moment will reveal why someone unexpectedly steps into this story with information that changes the entire direction of your soulmate's journey. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next revelation will make today's emotional breakdown finally make complete sense. Everything your soulmate believed was finally leading to one unforgettable moment. They could feel it long before anything actually happened. It was as if their heart had started recognizing signs their eyes could not yet see. The strange coincidences, the unexpected reminders, the emotions that appeared without warning were no longer random. They all seemed connected to one powerful truth. For the first time, your soulmate stopped asking whether fate had separated you and started wondering whether every delay had actually been preparing both of you for something greater. That single realization changed the way they looked at everything. They understood that timing can hide answers until the exact moment when two hearts are finally ready to receive them. Don't skip, because what happened next caught them completely off guard. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next discovery became the final push they never expected to receive. Later that day, an ordinary conversation suddenly turned into something unforgettable. A single sentence reached your soulmate, and those few words carried more weight than anyone in that room could have imagined. It was not a dramatic confession. It was a simple observation about you that confirmed everything their heart had quietly been trying to tell them. In that instant, regret and hope collided inside them. They realized how many moments had been misunderstood because they were listening to fear instead of truth. Their eyes filled with emotion, not because they felt defeated, but because they finally saw a future they had stopped believing was possible. They imagined what they would say if they ever stood in front of you again. They replayed countless conversations inside their mind, searching for the words that could repair everything silence had damaged. Stay till the end, because someone is about to unknowingly create the perfect opportunity for those words to finally be spoken. As night settled in once more, your soulmate made a quiet promise to themselves. They would no longer allow assumptions to control their heart. They would no longer let unanswered questions decide the future. Instead, They chose courage over hesitation, hope over fear, and truth over silence. They do not yet know exactly how the next step will unfold, but they know they cannot remain where they are. Something inside them has awakened, and it grows stronger with every passing hour. The emotional breakdown that began with unexpected news has transformed into a determination that cannot easily be stopped. Don't skip, because the story has reached its most important turning point. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The next chapter reveals the decision your soulmate has been avoiding for so long, and once that decision is made, the connection between you will move into a completely new and unexpected direction. A moment is now approaching that neither you nor your soulmate could have predicted when this journey began. The emotions that overwhelmed them are no longer hidden beneath silence. They have reached a point where pretending feels far more painful than facing the truth. Every day since hearing those unexpected words has changed something inside them. They no longer see your story through old assumptions. Instead, they see someone who carried silent battles with quiet strength. That realization has filled them with both admiration and regret. They keep wondering how different everything might have been if they had understood your heart sooner. The question refuses to leave them because it carries the weight of every opportunity they almost allowed to disappear. Don't skip, because something huge is waiting for you. Your soulmate is standing on the edge of a decision that could rewrite everything they once believed about the future. They are beginning to understand that some connections never truly fade. They only wait for the right moment to become impossible to ignore again. As another day unfolds, unexpected events begin lining up in ways that seem almost impossible to explain. One reminder leads to another. One memory unlocks the next. It feels as though life itself keeps placing your name in front of your soulmate until they can no longer look away. Every attempt to distract themselves somehow circles back to you. They finally accept that this is not simply nostalgia. It is clarity. Their heart has stopped fighting what it has known for much longer than their mind was willing to admit. They are no longer asking whether they still care. They already know the answer. The only question left is whether they have enough courage to take the next step before another chance slips away. Stay till the end, because the next few moments carry a once-in-a-lifetime revelation. A door that seemed permanently closed is beginning to open, and your soulmate can feel that something important is moving closer with every passing hour. The fear that once controlled them is losing its power, while hope grows stronger than it has been in a very long time. Now everything rests on one final choice. Your soulmate understands that silence has already taken enough from both of you. They know that waiting forever is no longer an option. Deep inside, they have made a promise they have not shared with anyone else. If another opportunity appears, they will not let fear decide for them again. They will choose honesty. They will choose courage. They will choose the truth they discovered the day they heard something about you that completely broke them down. That painful moment did not destroy their heart. It awakened it. It reminded them of what truly matters before it was too late. Don't skip, because this is not where the story ends. Something huge is waiting for you. The next chapter begins with a heart that is finally ready to stop running, a truth that can no longer remain hidden, and a future that is much closer than either of you ever imagined. The moment your soulmate has been unknowingly preparing for is no longer far away, it is quietly making its way toward both of you, and when it finally arrives, nothing between your hearts will ever feel the same again.